Hi, it's Mark Donegan with the Marketing Execution Podcast. Simply creating a better product doesn't guarantee market success, and the data support this. The companies that emerge as market leaders are those that establish entirely new categories tailored to their unique strengths. Today, Tim and I will discuss the challenge of creating a market versus competing within an existing one. Join us for this in-depth conversation on this important topic.
Tune in, listen up, it's marketing time. Bright ideas sparking, blowing your mind. From strategies to big exec dreams, catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing Convo.
Welcome to the Marketing Execution Podcast. This is the show for tech founders and leaders building B2B products and technologies. We show you how to go further, faster to get the business results you need.
From strategies to big exec dreams, catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing Convo.
Mark, I was scrolling through my feed the other day, and it struck me, it feels like 99% of startup marketing is just screaming, we're a little bit better than them. It's this endless race to add one more feature, get 1 point higher on a benchmark. Is that really the game we're all supposed to be playing?
Tim, that is the perfect question because it gets right to the heart of what most founders get wrong. They think the game is to be better. They fight for inches in an existing market. But the legendary companies, the ones that become category kings, they don't play that game. They invent a whole new game.
A new game? You mean like creating a new market from scratch? That's what we've talked about in the past episodes, right?
It is. It's where all the value is created. This is the core idea from a book called Play Bigger, and it's something I've seen play out in real life. The first principle is you have to stop thinking about being better and start thinking about being different. Design a new category of existence. Show people a problem they didn't even know they had. And then, magically, you're the only one with the solution.
Okay, so you're not just another CRM. You're, I don't know, a proactive relationship platform or something. You define the space.
Exactly. Think about it. When you compete on being better, you're constantly defending yourself against everyone else's features. When you create a new category, everyone else has to defend themselves against your definition of the market. You own the narrative. It is a fundamental shift in power.
But how? I mean, that can't just be a marketing slogan, right? You can't just slap a new name on something and call it a category.
No, you're right. And this is the second and maybe the most critical secret that people miss. You can't just build a product and then figure out the market later. It doesn't work. The authors call it the flywheel. You have to design the company, the product, and the category all at the same time. They have to be in a perfect reinforcing loop.
Wait, back up. Design the company for the category. What does that even mean?
Okay, so let's say you're creating a new category called low-tech devices for people suffering from tech overwhelm. The product is simple. It just does calls and texts. Now, if you were building that, would you hire 100 of the world's best engineers who are obsessed with adding features?
No, that would be the opposite of what you're trying to do.
Right. You'd hire engineers with a minimalist philosophy, and you probably hire way more marketers and storytellers than engineers because the real challenge is changing people's minds about technology. You see, the company culture, the hiring choices, it all has to serve the category you're creating. The company builds the product that proves the category, which grows the company. It's a flywheel. When it starts spinning, it's almost impossible to stop.
Wow. Okay, so you're building this whole new world, the category, the product, the company, in sync. It makes sense. But then you have to launch. You have this thing nobody's ever heard of. How do you avoid just fizzling out?
Yeah, a quiet launch is the absolute death of a new category. You can't just send out a press release. This brings us to the third piece, which is the execution part we talk about so much here on the Marketing Execution Podcast. You need what they call a lightning strike. It's a single explosive event designed to announce the new category to the world.
A lightning strike, like a big conference announcement?
It could be, but it's more than that. It's a moment in time where you seize the world's attention. Instead of just launching your product, you are launching the problem. You're making everyone feel the pain of the old way and revealing this amazing new way. It has to be an event that's infused with your company's take, your point of view, your story, your vision for the future. You have to be aggressive, bold, a maverick. You're declaring a new reality, and you have to do it with such conviction that people can't help but listen.
So the goal of the event isn't just to get sales leads, it's to get mind share, to frame the entire conversation.
100%. You want analysts, press, and customers walking away saying, I never thought about the problem of tech overwhelm before, but that low-tech device company is right, and they're the only ones who seem to get it. You've just become the market winner by default.
This is fascinating. Okay, so this whole framework, it makes a ton of sense for a big B2C play. But let's pivot for a second and talk about what this means for a leader of a B2B SaaS company with like zero budget.
You know, that is the single biggest misconception about this entire idea. The smaller you are, the less money you have, the more this matters. It's the only move you have. A big company with $100 million in venture capital can afford to play the better game for a while. They can buy their way into the conversation. But the founder with zero budget, they can't win by outspending anyone. They can only win by outthinking them.
Okay, but the lightning strike you mentioned, that sounds like a Super Bowl ad. That sounds expensive. How does a bootstrap SaaS founder pull that off?
See, we're jumping ahead. The event itself isn't the point. It's the culmination of something much, much deeper. And before we even get to the how, we have to internalize the why. Because if you don't get this part, you'll never have the guts to do it anyway. It'll just feel too risky.
So what's the real why?
The why is that this isn't a game for second place. The data is brutal on this. When a new category is created, the company that defines it, the one that becomes the category king, they don't just get a bigger piece of the pie, they get almost the entire pie. We're talking 70 to 80% of the total market value goes to one company.
Wait, hang on. 70 to 80%?
70 to 80%. It's wild. Everyone else, all the fast followers and the better competitors, they are left fighting over the scraps. So the question for that founder isn't, how do I compete? The real question is, am I building a company to own the market, or am I building a company to fight for leftovers? It's a fundamental choice about the kind of business you're in.
Oh man, that puts it in a totally different light. This isn't just a clever marketing framework. It's an existential decision.
Exactly, that's it. And that decision changes everything. It changes how you hire, how you build, and most important, it forces you to get crystal clear on your company's take.
The take, that's the point of view you mentioned.
Yeah, but it's more than that. It's your story, your vision for the future. It's the answer to why must this new category exist. Look, people don't naturally want new things. They like the status quo. They're comfortable. Your take has to be so compelling, so emotionally resonant that it jolts them out of that comfort. It has to make them see the problem they didn't even know they had.
I see what you mean. The take is the narrative weapon that makes the new category feel necessary and never believe it.
You nailed it. It's the engine for the whole thing. A big budget can buy you attention, sure, but it can't buy you a soul. A powerful, authentic take. That's free. It just costs courage. I know of a B2B company that started with nothing. I mean, the founders were eating ramen for a year, but they had this radical belief that the entire consulting industry was broken. They believed it was built on a flawed model.
Okay.
That belief, their take, became everything. Every blog post, every podcast interview, every single sales call was about their vision for a new way. They weren't selling their software. They were selling a rebellion against the old way. They created a new category of existence for their customers, and people bought in, not just to the product, but to the mission. That's the power we're talking about. It's not about budget, it's about belief.
Okay, I'm sold. The stakes are high sky, and the take is the weapon. But a belief isn't a plan. How does that founder, the one with the radical belief and no cash, actually start building this thing from day one?
Founders can actually use this stuff from the jump because that founder with no cash, She has an advantage. She has nothing to lose.
Yes, I love that. Okay, give us the playbook. What's the very first thing she does?
The first thing, and this is before you write a single line of code, is you have to name the enemy and you have to name the new world. We're talking about the category here.
Name the enemy, so like the old way of doing things.
Exactly. The broken process, the accepted frustration. You give that pain a name, and then you give the solution, the new category, a name. Think about it. Salesforce didn't just sell web-based CRM. They created a war against software. Their enemy was software. Their new world was the cloud. They named the game.
Ah, okay, so the practical step is literally coming up with a name for the category.
It is. It's step one. So for that founder, the action is simple. Sit down with your team. Don't talk about features. Talk about the change you want to make in the world and give it a 2 or 3 word name. That name becomes your North Star for everything. It's your rallying cry. It's the headline on your website.
I get it. It's like you're selling a destination and you just gave the destination a name on a map.
You got it. Okay, so once you have the name of your category, what's next? You need to write your manifesto.
A manifesto sounds big, a little intimidating for a startup.
It's not. It's actually super simple. Think of it as your take boiled down to its absolute core. It's the story you're going to tell 1,000 times on podcasts, meetups, and coffee shops, and you can do it in 3 sentences.
3 sentences. Okay, I'm listening.
First sentence, state the problem, the old way of the world, and why it's broken. Make it feel urgent. Then in the second sentence, present the promised land, a vision of what the world looks like when that problem is solved. Make it sound inevitable. And sentence 3, position your product as the key, the vehicle that gets people from the broken present to that inevitable future.
Wow, that's powerful. Could you provide a more specific example?
Sure. Think about a SaaS company like Gong. Their manifesto could be 1, sales coaching is a guessing game based on memory and notes. That's totally broken. 2, imagine a world where every single sales call gives you perfect data to make your team better. And 3, Gong's revenue intelligence platform makes that world a reality. Problem, vision, solution. That's your story. That's your manifesto. It costs $0 to write.
That is so clear. Problem, vision, solution. Okay, so you've named the category and you've written your 3-sentence manifesto. How do you get the word out? You mentioned the lightning strike before. That still sounds expensive.
Right. So a founder with no cash needs to rethink the lightning strike. It's not about a big, expensive event. It's about a single concentrated moment of action that proves your take is real. It's an act of generosity or bravery that makes everyone stop and listen.
Okay, an act of generosity. What does that look like?
Look at GitLab. They were competing against massive established players. They had a radical take on how companies should operate, full transparency. So what did they do? Their lightning strike was publishing their entire company handbook online for free. Over 2,000 pages of their internal processes, culture, everything.
Wait, they just gave away their whole playbook?
The whole thing. It was an insane act of generosity, and it did 2 things. 1, it was the ultimate proof of their take on transparency. They lived it. 2, it instantly created a community around them because people saw a movement, a new way of building a company. That one moved him, that defined their category. It cost them almost nothing and was more powerful than any Super Bowl ad.
Okay, wow. So you name the game, write the manifesto, and create a single powerful moment. Mark, this is a lot. Can you just boil it all down for us one more time?
Absolutely. Look, it's a game of being different, not just better. And the stakes are everything because the company that defines the category gets almost the entire market. Do you need a huge budget? Nope. But you need a powerful story, your take on the world. You give that new world a name, you write a simple 3-sentence manifesto about the problem and your solution, and you launch it with a brave, authentic moment that proves you mean it. That's the whole playbook.
Okay, that's so clear. After all this, what's the one mindset shift, the single thought you hope a founder takes away from our conversation today?
Forget the product for a second and think about the shift you're leading, because that's what people buy into, and that's what creates a category. The Marketing Execution Podcast is produced by Growth Stage Marketing. We are on a mission to see your company reach wild success using marketing pods.
Too big, accept dreams. Catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing Convo.
Thank you for listening and being a part of the marketing execution movement and community. To learn how growth stage marketing clients reach more buyers and drive business impact, go to growthstage.marketing. That's growthstage.marketing.